I'm out here at the Southern California Railway Museum today, and I'm volunteering to help clean one of our historic trolleys. It's about 100 years old. 1201 is the Los Angeles Railway car that was built in 1922. So earlier today, I had to actually operate the trolley and pull it out to get it set up in the right spot to do some cleaning. But I wanted to talk a little bit about oral history and how it relates to this property. This property was established in 1958, and it was originally a potato farm. And a group of young men brought their trolley collection here as they knew that the streetcar industry was kind of coming to a close. And then they wanted to kind of find a way and a place that they could run their cars without fear of getting in trouble. So they built track here and the trolley lines and pretty much made themselves a giant train set. So I wanted to talk a little bit about NHPA and the article that we read by Brian Joyner that should NHPA have a greater sense of urgency. And I know I had some different thoughts on this with the last assignment we had, and that I had talked about the 50-year rule and how I was saying that 50 years is a good place to start. But as I volunteer here, I have a little bit of different feeling about it, because we have rolling stock here that are over 100 years old, and we don't have a lot of people willing to come and learn how to run it. The first thing I want to share with you, this is my motorman's manual. So this is specifically for this museum, and it talks about the electrical system with the substations and how the trolleys run. And it does give information on how all the components work, and the track and the catenary wire, the personnel who's in the operating department, the different types of controllers that we have, like there's diagrams. And of course we had a test on this. So point being is, like, we've learned all this, like we've gone through this, we've tested on it, we've had our operating hours, and then right now I'm working on being certified on the various trolleys. So what's different about each individual streetcar is they kind of have their own personality. They have quirks and different ways that they work, and there's an operations procedure for each of them. The thing is you could have a manual, but unless you're out here taking the time to get to know each individual streetcar, or even for any of the other locomotives that we have, you can tell I'm passionate about it, you're not going to know how they work. They each have different quirks and different operating procedures that kind of allow them to be run in a safe and effective manner. For example, we have one car called the Marni safety car, and the controller, the way that it is set up is, it's a little bit touchy, that when you take your acceleration points, you have to float the first one. You can't just hit one, you have to go directly to like the second, or else you could have some sort of spark or explosion in the actual motor. So if you came in here and you just decided, oh, I know how to operate this type of trolley, sorry, that's the air compressor, and you went to go operate the Marni safety car, without knowing that, without having that oral history shared between us and the museum staff here that is here to train us, there could be major problems. And so a big fear that I have is that without volunteers or people that are interested in historic railway operations and preservation, because it's all tied together, that we're not going to have people who know how to do it. Like you could look it up online and you're not going to find anything about it. You could look in this manual and you're not going to find anything about it. It's something you have to learn by doing. Another example that we have is when we ran a multiple unit of 2 Pacific Electric blimps, number 418 and I think it was 492, a couple weeks ago, that the poles that actually go up to the electrical line have to be taken down in a certain order so that you don't have an arc or any other problems with the electricity. So if you didn't come here and learn how to know the correct order of operations for bringing the trolley poles down, you could have a really major problem and things won't run properly. So that's just some thoughts that I have, knowing that the railway operations here at this particular museum, and I'm sure across the country, I follow a lot of them on social media, is mostly older generation. It's people who, you know, they're railway enthusiasts, and they come and they want to help out, and they want to help out with preservation and operations. But to the general public, if you have a younger generation coming in to learn, but you know, we start losing these elders that we have in the industry. It's just so important that we have the oral history and traditions and operations, order of operations preserved orally. So I know that's kind of a roundabout way to say it, but we do worry about the loss of memory, and we do worry about, sorry, we're having a tour today, so the trains are going around, it's kind of noisy. But yeah, like the article says in the book, that that people die and memories fade, and that longevity does not equal significance for the property or event. I mean, this property could be here, but if no one's here to run it and no one's here to share the traditions of how things are run and to continue to invite the public to be engaged in the preservation of historic railway, then we wouldn't have it. Like, it's gonna die out. So I'm very passionate about it. Thanks for coming along, and I'll show you some of the adventures that I had today with learning from my mentor John Cunningham, and how he is orally sharing with me how to get these streetcars up and running for the day and how we put them away. Thanks for watching.
First thing that comes out of the box, well, first thing that goes in is the door controller, okay?
Okay.
It goes in and it goes open. So it only comes out when it's in the closed position, so then you push it to open.
Okay.
Always push it to open, because if you don't push it to open, when you put the pole up, you walk away, you check the switches, the car pumps up. Well, if the handle's right here, it's going to close the door, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I know I can't
then
climb
you're going to
those.
have to climb in the side.
Yeah, I know I can't climb in
And
those
then
windows.
it doesn't matter which other order all this other stuff goes in.
Okay.
Right?
So everything just has a place.
Yep.
Okay.
Like this, turn the bell off now. You can let go of the throttle. Just let go. It's not going to go anywhere.